Everyone, welcome back. So, Obsession is the kind of horror movie that sneaks up on you, staring like a quirky love story and spiraling into something deeply disturbing, darkly funny, and completely unhinged. Directed by rising filmmaker Barker, Obsession proves that the jump from internet fame to full blown studio horror isn't just possible, it can actually deliver something fresh. The story follows Bear, played by Michael Johnston, a painfully awkward guy working at a music store who's hopelessly in love with his co worker Nikki. She's confident, charming, and completely out of his league, and deep down, everyone knows it. But Bear doesn't. After completely failing to win her over, he turns to something ridiculous, a cheap novelty item called the One Wish Willow. And in true horror fashion, he makes the worst possible wish. He wants Nikki to love him more than anyone else in the world. And yeah, that's exactly what he gets. At first, it seems like a dream come true. Nikki suddenly becomes obsessed with him. She's affectionate, attentive, completely devoted. Everything Bear thought he wanted, but it doesn't take long before things get uncomfortable, then disturbing, then outright terrifying. Because Nikki's love isn't normal, it's consuming. What starts as clingy behavior escalates into full blown psychological horror. She stops functioning like a real person, starts glitching between who she was and whatever this twisted version of her has become, and slowly turns into something that feels less human and more like a nightmare. And the film makes one thing very clear: there isn't a tragic love story. Bear isn't a hero. He's not even sympathetic. The movie flips the usual nice guy trope on its head and leans into the uncomfortable truth. He ignores every red flag because he wants this. He chooses the fantasy over reality, even as it destroys everything around him. And that's where Obsession really shines. It's not just horror, its commentary. Takes aim at entitlement, obsession, and the idea that someone is owed love. And instead of rewarding that mindset, the film punishes it in the most brutal, twisted ways possible. But the real standout here is Indy Navarrete as Nikki. Her performance is on another level. One moment she's sweet and charming, the next completely unhinged, shifting between personalities so fast it's genuinely unsettling. She goes from dream girl to nightmare in second, sometimes within the same scene, and it's impossible to look away. If you have seen Pearl, the comparison makes sense. That same chaotic, magnetic energy that turns a character into something iconic. Michael Johnston also deserves credit for playing the perfect counterpart. His reactions ground the insanity, making everything feel just real enough to hit harder. In the end, Obsession might not reinvent the horror genre, but it absolutely nails his execution. It's uncomfortable, darkly funny, and brutally honest about the kind of obsession we don't like to talk about. And thanks to a killer lead performance and a director who fully commits to the madness, this is one horror film that going to stick with people long after it ends. Obsession hits theater May 15, 2026, and if you like horror twisted with a sharp edge of reality, this is one to watch. Thank you for watching. Bye.